For most users using a single camera, these are the ones to go for. However, if you're doing instructional videos, interviews, or just wanting a multiple camera setup like this, then you're probably going to be looking at switchers instead. Switching devices or switchers allow you to connect multiple inputs and switch between them live. One thing to keep in mind though is that some of them you're able to plug directly into your computer, and some of them you have to get one of the devices we talked about earlier. This one in particular is the Roland V1 HD and allows you to connect up to 4 different cameras. They're what they call worry-free HDMI inputs, which means if you have a 4K signal, a 1080p signal, it will regulate it all for you here. It also has a nice preview output, which will give you 4 inputs on one screen. It also, right next to that, has a clean HDMI output, which is nice so you can plug in directly to a capture device and stream it from your computer. One thing about the Roland is that it does have really nice audio inputs as well. Just at the front here, it has audio in and audio out. And on the side, it has a headphone output and a microphone input, but that is only 3.5mm. Last thing I like about the V1 HD is that you're able to control and transition between all 4 inputs nice and seamlessly with the slider and this control output fader. Next up we have is the brother of this one, which is the Roland VR1 HD. Now it is very similar, however it does have a little bit more audio flexibility, such as 2 XLR inputs and faders for both of those. It also has 3 HDMI ins instead of 4. However, it does have 1 HDMI through, meaning you're able to plug a computer directly into it and stream that screen. On top of that, it's more of an all-in-one solution as you're able to connect it directly into your computer. I see this one really great for anyone doing podcasts, so that way you can plug both your XLR microphones into it and do your video through that as well. Switching device number 3 is the Blackmagic A10 Mini. Similar to the Roland, it can take up to 4 HDMI ins, and yes, they are worry-free. It also has 2 microphone inputs, which are only 3.5mm. However, the cherry on top is that it can connect directly to your computer via a USB-C cable. One thing I didn't like about the Blackmagic A10 Mini is that it didn't have a preview of your inputs. However, Blackmagic have just released a newer version which allow you to see 4 of your inputs, as well as you're able to record your recording directly to a hard drive plugged into the switcher. This is called the Blackmagic A10 Mini Pro. Switching device number 5, which I have mentioned before, is the Blackmagic Web Presenter. This one you will need the front panel if you did want to switch between both cameras. One thing to keep in mind though is that one of them has to be HDMI and one SDI, but this is still a great option. The final switcher before we get into audio is the Blackmagic Television Studio HD. This one's great because at the back you can connect up to 8 channels, 4 of them being SDI, 4 of them being HDMI, and it also has 2 multi-view outputs so you can see all your inputs, and they come in 2 flavors of SDI and HDMI. It also has 2 XLR inputs for audio just at the back and 1 1/4-inch microphone input at the front. On top of that, you also have a 1/4-inch headphone jack to monitor all your audio, and you have your controls to monitor your video and audio, and you even have a little screen to see all your inputs. This is perfect for anyone who has 4 inputs or more, as it gives you the flexibility to expand into more cameras. It also has the rack mounting option, so you can mount it to a rack shelf for that real studio setup. So hopefully this video has given you some insight into what gear is out there to get a great quality stream and what's going to be suitable for your situation. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to comment down below, give us a call, book in a Zoom call, or chat to any of our web sales team. Stay safe.